4 simple steps to get your house out of foreclosure. Hi, I'm David Washington, President and CEO of Kipling Real Estate Consultants and Advisors. This particular video is for homeowners that's facing trouble, not able to make their payments, or think they're going to have some problems in the near future. You got 4 options to get your house out of foreclosure. A regular standard loan modification, great program. Contact your mortgage company and find out what their requirements are. I recommend the HAMP modification program, which is the President Obama Making Affordable Modification Program. Phenomenal program. Is permanent. The interest rate can be adjusted as low as 2%. The loan can be amortized and stretched out to a period of 40 years. And it's based on 31% of your household debt to income ratios. Love the program. Again, it's permanent. It is a sure fix to get your mortgage payments under control. If you feel you qualify for that program, or you're facing a situation you're not able to make your payments, or you're struggling, get in contact with your mortgage company or a servicer. Ask them about the Making Home Affordable Modification Program. A lot of times mortgage companies don't participate with that program, but they also have programs that mirror that program. So find out what your mortgage company can do to help you based on those set of circumstances. But I would ask for the Making Home Affordable Modification Program first. The next thing you can do is sell your home. A lot of property values are starting to rebound, especially after the housing bubble. Values are starting to increase. Get in contact with your local real estate agent. Ask them to come and do a comparative market analysis, a CMA on your property. Find out what the fair market value of your home is. Fair market value is what your home in an area could be sold for based on the comparables with homes that's very similar to yours. Appraised value is what the home actually appraises for, and that number is sometimes different than the fair market value. So CMA is not an appraisal, but it is a comparative market analysis that's designed to give you what your home could actually be sold for based on its current condition and the comparables around the property. See what that value is. If that value is there, you might want to sit down with your spreadsheet, find out what your first mortgage is, what your second mortgage if you have one, what your homeowners association dues are, any property taxes or special assessment taxes. In Georgia, Georgia is a deficiency judgment state. It is a state that if you actually owe a judgment for a creditor, that judgment is actually on your name, which is automatically attached to real property in Georgia. A lot of people don't know that. They typically don't find that out until they get ready to go to the closing table and the closing attorneys pull title. If you owe the IRS, any bills that you owe, you want to find out what's the status of those bills and take all that in consideration before you actually factor the comparative market analysis with the total amount of bills that you owe. If you have a positive, that means you actually can make money at closing. That's a powerful thing. You might want to consider putting your house on the market. If your house is underwater, which means those same exact numbers, that bottom line is you actually owe more on your house than your house is valued at, then you might want to consider a short sale. Under that same Making Home Affordable program, you have the other side to that, which is called HAFA, Home Affordable Foreclosure Alternative. Love that program. Reason why is because it allows the homeowner, if they have to sell their home on a short sale, to get cash out at closing. Cash could be as low as $3,000 or as much as $30,000, depends on your type of situation. Majority of my clients are actually averaging $10,000 out at closing. Phenomenal program. It also allows any junior lien holders on your property, such as a second mortgage or any other junior lien holder, to actually be satisfied for that total amount of the settlement at closing. What does that mean? Okay, if you have a second mortgage and it's $15,000, your first mortgage company dictates everybody's money, with the exception of taxes and HOA. So this first mortgage company may say you are only able to get $5,000 at closing. If the second mortgage company says, okay, we'll accept this $5,000, that means they cannot come back after you for the other $10,000. It's a total settlement. That's another phenomenal reason for that program. The other thing is that any deficiencies from that first mortgage, anything less than what you actually owe that mortgage company, that the mortgage company settled for in that short sale settlement, it's waived. There's no deficiency. So that's a powerful tool as well. If that is your situation, you might want to get in contact with a tax person and find out if you're eligible for the mortgage and debt forgiveness. Although that lender has written that deficiency off, that lender has to report that same loss to the IRS, and you want to make sure too that you're not taxed on it. Majority of owner occupants are aware of this program, and they are typically not liable for any IRS deficiencies. But make sure your tax person knows that, because there's certain paperwork that has to be filled out. So if you have a short sale scenario, there's absolutely no reason why you need to walk away from your property. You can actually, your bank can lose money on the property, your second lender can lose money on the property, under this particular program, it works out great for you because you still make money and the foreclosure is not reported on your credit report like a standard foreclosure. So it helps you rebound a lot faster and a lot easier because you're not facing a foreclosure that's on your credit report. A lot of homeowners can't qualify for a loan modification, so they have to consider a forbearance agreement. Great program as well, but those are typically temporary programs unless the mortgage company takes your back payments that you owe and stick it to the end of the loan. So what happens if you're 4 or 5 payments behind, now your loan term has just extended by that amount. There's some other types of terms of forbearance agreements as well. So ask your lender if you qualify for a forbearance agreement. They can tell you which ones you qualify for. Phenomenal program as well if your situation is temporary. If reinstating your loan is a possibility to avoid foreclosure, let's say you just got a foreclosure notice from your lender. There's 2 ways you get foreclosed on. The first part of the foreclosure, your lender gives you a notice saying, hey, we're getting ready to foreclose on you. You are officially in their foreclosure department. You shouldn't panic at that point. Get in contact with your mortgage company. Find out when it's going to be referred to an attorney to begin the foreclosure proceedings. A lot of times that's 30, 60, sometimes even 90 days. Tell your mortgage company your intentions are to reinstate your mortgage. You may need a specific period of time and make that agreement to reinstate that loan at that period of time. You do that, a lot of times they can stall the process or slow it down just a little bit, and you can reinstate your mortgage. So when you get your first foreclosure notice, actually when you get any notice from your mortgage company, don't panic, because the key to dealing with your mortgage company is communications. If you have any questions, I'm here to help homeowners. I enjoy doing what I do. This is a passion for me. Get in contact with David Washington at Kipling Real Estate Consultants and Advisors. We can be reached at 770-872-7500.